So over the last couple of weeks, the crypto market has not looked too great. We've seen it really drag down all the altcoins regardless of what is happening with news and announcements and adoption. Really, the whole entire market has been dragged down by fears coming out of Russia and Ukraine, regulations from Joe Biden, and a lot more. But today I want to talk about what has been going on with Cardano because there's been a lot of exciting developments taking place over the last couple of weeks, even though we haven't seen a lot of positive movement with the price. So let's talk about it. Right now, the crypto market doesn't look too great. We're seeing Bitcoin's price drop below a couple of very important support levels, the first being $40,000 per coin. Now that we've dropped below $40,000 per coin, we're testing that $38,000 to $38,700 per coin level. That has been a key range for Bitcoin over the last couple of months and really the last year. And like you saw back in January of 2022, about a month and a half ago, we have seen that once Bitcoin's price dropped below this, then we saw a massive correction down to $35,000 per coin. And we very well could see that same exact thing happen now. So keep an eye out on this. If we see a 4-hour close below $38,000 per coin, then we very well are going to see a retest of $35,000 per coin. So expect that over the coming days. But when we're looking at Bitcoin a little bit more long term, things look very different because what we're seeing right now in terms of on-chain data is that Bitcoin inactive supply has reached record highs of over 60%, and this is the amount of Bitcoin that has not moved, not been spent, really remained unchanged and inactive over the last year. And this is important because the last two times that we have seen the inactive supply of Bitcoin be over 60%, we have seen massive rallies in the overall crypto market to come. We could see that the last two times this happened was early 2016 when Bitcoin's price was between $380 and $450 per coin, and in mid-2020 when Bitcoin's price was at $9,000 per coin. These were both during times of long-term consolidation before we saw the next rally, before we saw a huge rally in Bitcoin's price. So if we're looking at historical data and what has happened, every single time that we have seen people who have owned Bitcoin for more than a year not sell, when we've seen that inactive supply over 60%, it has been followed by a big rally. So right now is the time to just be patient, hold your Bitcoin, buy more if you're interested in buying long-term, but ultimately short-term things don't look too good. Long-term, it's a completely different story. But really, let's talk about what has been going on with Cardano, because as of recently, Cardano has seen a lot of great news. Cardano recently saw a huge spike in its TVL, which we've talked about and addressed in a couple videos recently, but what we had seen is that Cardano's TVL, total value locked, has increased from $3 million less than 30 days ago to now over $127 million. A lot of this is because of new projects like SundaeSwap launching on Cardano's ecosystem, but the good news here is that we're seeing really a lot of mass adoption take place with Cardano. So first, like we said, is SundaeSwap had the rollout of one of the first ever DEXs on Cardano's ecosystem. It's been a major success. You can see that SundaeSwap has about $124.8 million in TVL, takes up a majority of the TVL for Cardano in general. But recently, we've also seen a number of other DEXs come out with big announcements. You can see that right now we have big plans for the next DEX launching on Cardano, which is supposed to be Occam X. This has been one that we've talked about quite a few times on the channel. It was we did it in a video about 4 or 5 months ago talking about top Cardano DEXs, and we talked about Occam X. So this is going to be the next one to keep an eye out on. It should be a major boost to Cardano's overall ecosystem, and it's going to add some competition for SundaeSwap. Next one that we're also seeing is MadeX, which is another very exciting project on Cardano. It's MadeX Metaverse, which is one of many Metaverse projects that have recently launched on Cardano. This has been great as well. Third thing that we're seeing is that another DEX, which is called DOEX, DOEX, is another DEX, an AMM DEX, built on the Cardano network, which is also going to add more competition to SundaeSwap. And lastly, another one, which we have talked about quite a few times, is ADAX, which has been making major moves in the space, really helping build Cardano's ecosystem. So the important thing here is not all of the DEXs in particular, but the fact that we're seeing project after project launch on Cardano, and all of these are going to make each other better. With all these new DEXs coming out, they're going to push SundaeSwap for SundaeSwap to be even better, compete with the likes of PancakeSwap and Uniswap and take some people away from Ethereum's network with, like Uniswap. So it'll be very exciting to see all of these new DEXs come out, really push to make the overall Cardano ecosystem better. And long term, this is going to help boost Cardano's price. And I know Cardano has not done well as of recently in terms of price, but all of these projects really set us up for long term. Next thing I want to talk about is going to be what is going on with another DEX, which is called BashoSwap. This is one of the bigger ones that has gotten a lot of hype as of recently because they have a pretty strong, solid team behind them. I just want to point this one out because I found this article on Cointelegraph, and it really related to what we were talking about in today's video. So they're having a utility token called Bash, and this is going to help develop more projects on Cardano's ecosystem. It's going to be a DEX, blockchain-powered DEX. It's going to be exciting because they're going to have a lot of features. For example, they're going to have ways to add liquidity to earn as liquidity providers. You're going to have access to a launch pad and other cool features. But this, again, is just going to only help boost Cardano's ecosystem long term. Next thing I want to talk about is going to be what is going on with Bitcoin in particular. A couple of price predictions. So recently, Kevin O'Leary came out and said that Bitcoin's price will not hit $300,000 per coin until we see institutions comfortable buying crypto. And I posted this on Twitter the other day, so if you don't already follow me on Twitter, make sure to do that because I talk about many of the topics in our videos well before we make a video on them. So make sure to follow me on Twitter. But Kevin O'Leary basically said that right now, a lot of pension funds, a lot of major institutions, sovereign wealth funds don't yet invest into Bitcoin or crypto because of regulations. And he says once we see the US government and governments around the world really take hold of crypto, put specific regulations into place, that's when we're going to see these big pension funds, these big institutions really get involved. Because yes, we've seen JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs start talking more about crypto, getting a little bit more involved, but when we really start to see pension funds and other sovereign funds around the world, sovereign wealth fund like Saudi Arabia, that's when we're going to see major money coming into the crypto space, and that is when we're going to see Bitcoin's price hit $300,000 per coin. So really, it's just a game of patience right now. It's going to happen. Institutions all across the board are going to allocate money to crypto, probably between 1% to 5%, but the bottom line is now is the time to be patient, adding to your positions, and betting long-term, 5-10 years from now, on crypto. And then the last thing I want to talk about is with Tesla and Dogecoin, because Elon Musk came out in a post just a couple hours ago, within the last 24 to 48 hours. And he said how Tesla is officially accepting Dogecoin as a form of payment at its supercharger station in Santa Monica, California. This is the first ever supercharger station to accept Dogecoin as a form of payment. But this is a very exciting step for crypto and the Dogecoin community in particular, because a lot of people have been excited about what Elon Musk and Tesla are going to do with Dogecoin. Are they going to implement it? How are they going to let people actually use it? So this is very exciting. It's just their first one, just the first charging station that allows people to actually pay with Dogecoin. But this could be a hint that Tesla's getting more and more into crypto. They're doing more to get involved, and they're trying their best, despite regulations, despite what's happened with Bitcoin in the past. They're still pushing forward with their crypto plans. So a lot is going on in the market. Technicals, short term, not looking too great. Long term, mass adoption, overall, institutions getting involved. That's looking a lot better. So it just depends. You ask yourself, like we said in the last video, are you a short-term investor? Are you a long-term investor? Personally, me, I'm a long-term investor. So all the projects I'm buying now, dollar cost averaging, investing for the long term, 5-10 years from now, you can bet that these projects are going to be worth a lot more than they are right now. So let me know your thoughts. Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Are you a long-term investor? Are you a short-term investor? And let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. See ya.